Every time I make a video about Kyle, I'm thinking this is the last video because it's getting a little bit tiresome. Not gonna lie. It's kind of like Greta Thunberg. Like you saw her everywhere. You couldn't open the papers without seeing her. And yeah, it was nice at first, but after a while you just get bored and it's like, can we move on to the next subject? And I was the same with this guy. It's like, Kyle this, Kyle that. And like, just enough. But the news is so interesting that you have to talk about it. Because everyone knows that if he was found guilty, social media would have banned people who said, oh, like the jury found him guilty, but I still think it was self-defense. No, you'd have been banned for misinformation. I'm pretty sure there would have been fact checkers doing it. In fact, the reason that I'm saying this is because Facebook and GoFundMe and other platforms would kick you off if you said anything about what Kyle did being self-defense last year. But now you have progressives, which, they get to say that he is a racist and a murderer and all of the things, even though he supports Black Lives Matter, even though the jury found him unanimously as self-defense, even though anyone that watched the trial found him as self-defense, they get to lie anyway. And just to highlight how uninformed these students are, which yet again shows that being at the university and knowing facts are incompatible with each other. So these students are protesting the fact that Kyle is at the university and wants him to be thrown out. But the fun fact is that he isn't at the university. He unenrolled. So this is the knowledge that the Students for Socialism have at the ACU. They've absolutely no idea that they're protesting so that someone gets kicked out of a university when he isn't even there. Like, the moral of the story is if you're a pathological liar and you enjoy attacking other people, join a student union at one of these universities. They have you covered. Like, society allows you to do these things if you join a university. Enroll now. But all jokes aside, the reason that I decided to make this is because I said it even before the trial, that regardless of the verdict, it's going to be very difficult for him to have a quote-unquote normal life. Because if he manages to be found not guilty, and Lady Justice is done with him, well, her more chubby sister, Lady Social Justice, definitely has a thing to say. And I said, like, there is absolutely no way that he is going to be allowed to have a normal life. To be able to go to university, which, by the way, from the interview that he gave, he was quite proud of this achievement. Because he doesn't come from a very wealthy family. He comes from a more impoverished Latinx family, as I understand. So, to him, getting into Arizona State University is quite an achievement, right? And the progressives, students there, they can't allow this to happen. So they started doing all of the demands and all of the rah. And I was thinking, okay, well, he's done. And there is no way the university is going to allow him. And I was like, that's fine. I mean, at this point, there's politicians that asked him to come to them for an apprenticeship. There's right-wing personalities. This guy can't be canceled. He's uncancelable because there's too many people on the right that are willing to offer him a job. So, in a way, I was laughing at these students. It's like, do your worst. Like, you can't cancel him just like you can't cancel J.K. Rowling. But, I thought that's the story, right? I mean, he unenrolled from the university. He expected this mess. And, the students are going to do some activism. They're going to get some brownie points because they're virtuous. But no, that's not the story. Apparently, the university is saying, you know what? We're not going to listen to the students. In fact, what we're going to do is that if he applies again in the future, if he chooses to change his mind, we're going to process his application as any other person would be. And, my jaw dropped to the ground. My glasses just slid a little bit to the top of my nose. And I'm like, fairness? In 2021, you have fairness? We have due process at the university? Wow. I need a snapshot of this. I need to see what the world looks like when there's fairness. Blew my mind completely. I was taken aback. I expect many things, but this is something that caught me by surprise. But then I was dragged back to reality as my sides went into orbit and I started laughing. No, seriously, like, if you are standing up, if you're at the gym, if you're working, like, stop what you're doing because you're going to fall down laughing. And I don't want you hurt. I want my subscribers to be healthy so they can give me super chats, okay? Listen to this. You know what? Like, try not to laugh edition. I'll read you a quote and you need to try not to laugh. University campuses are synonymous with free speech. Okay? Like, in America. Alright? Try not to laugh edition. You laugh, you lose. University campuses are synonymous with free speech, an environment for the vigorous discussion of debate and ideas. An ACAU spokesperson told Campus Reform when asked about the process. Differences of opinion from all sides should be explored in a peaceful exchange. Can we have some muscle over here? What was the name of that teacher? I'm like, can we get some muscle over here? Yeah, I mean, this is how it should be. This is a very weird dystopian alternative reality where, yeah, you do have people coming from all sides and having vigorous debates. It's why the academia was renowned, because it's like the marketplace of ideas, and the good ideas, they get to rise up, and it's the bad ideas that get to suppress. But this was before the safe spaces. This was before the speech codes and before the political correctness and all of that nonsense. But okay, you know, I'm glad that the student for socialist students, that they're able to have a debate. You know, like, by the way, when I see socialist students, it tells me that there is no free speech there. Seriously, think about it this way, right? Imagine you have a socialist and a capitalist coming together, and they're speaking in front of a crowd. So you have the capitalists coming up and saying, okay, so I want you guys to be free to do whatever you want. Like, you can sell your labor, you know, you can start a business, you can have your own property, you can do whatever you want. Maybe there are a couple of rules, you know, like human rights are important, so no slavery, none of that, alright? But other than that, you know, low taxation, you get to find a job, blah, blah, blah. And then the socialist comes and it's like, listen, I'm going to take all your shit, and then I'm going to redistribute your shit equally across the entire audience, right? So everyone, hand me your money, hand me your stuff, put me in charge, and I'll distribute the wealth equally. Do you honestly think people would go, you know what, that's a good idea. I like the socialist guy. I love him, you know, like, yeah, let's support. No, you can't. You can't do that. So this is why you need political correctness. This is why you need to suppress the capitalist and everyone that's asking for freedom. Because if they come up and they start promoting freedom, it's a big problem for the socialist. And when I see, you know, like socialist students and whatnot, yeah, probably there's not much free speech at that university. But hey, what do I know? You know, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.